Chapter 7, a deeper search for more. This one was hard. This one was gritty because this was what really calls us beyond just frequency in his presence to depth in his presence, not just quantity of the amount of time we're spending with God, but quality. This is really, really important if we're earnestly desiring true intimacy with God. And while there are a lot of pieces and parts to this chapter, there was one that particularly came to life for me as I was writing this, and actually as I began to apply this to my life. So we talk about how God uses this picture of intimacy in the physical to greater reveal the beauty of intimacy in the spiritual. Well, the picture of giving and receiving, the beauty of man and woman, husband and wife, as they give and receive to one another in that hidden, unseen place, was the invitation he extended of giving and receiving in my own walk with him. This passage kind of summarizes it well. The giving and the receiving is a mutual exchange. God is working to achieve internal sanctification in our life. And when we humbly receive what the Holy Spirit is ministering to us, acknowledge it and give it over to him, it takes the ground that darkness and sin inhabited in us and occupies it with his marvelous light. He leads us to give up what is not of him so we can receive what is of him: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control, discernment, healing, wholeness, encouragement, assignment, destiny. Man, the list goes on. But this radically changed my prayer life. Did that portion stand out to you? I had always come before him and thought, Lord, just take this sin from me, take this struggle from me. But then my prayers evolved and grew when I understood that he's not just asking us to hand over, but he also wants to gift us in return. That my prayers could be, Lord, when you point out greed, I will hand it over, but I'm also going to pray to receive generosity. When you point out pride, I will hand it over, but I'm also going to pray to be filled with humility. This is important that we understand in our prayerful exchange with God, that he's not just asking us to come before him and allow him to point out what needs to be repented of and we just get annihilated in the process. No, he's saying, hand me the things I point out as not for your best, because I want you to receive what is of me, what is for your good. I want to replace that space in your heart with more of my glory. So what I want to do is, rather than prompting you in questions in this chapter, I want each of you to sit down and begin to journal out 3 to 5 things that you know are in there. Ask the Holy Spirit to illuminate them. And what's in my heart that's not of you? Is it selfishness? Is it fear? Is it greed? Is it unforgiveness? Write 3 to 5 things down that you could stand to hand over. But then write 3 to 5 paralleled things that are of his heart, are of his nature. Ask the Holy Spirit, show me what's the replacement here? What's the holy exchange that God is desiring take place to ultimately sanctify and transform me? Write down the attributes, the truths, the promises of God that you desire to receive. And then press in to prayer. Hand over what's not of him and joyfully, gladly, humbly receive what is of his Spirit. Tell me how that affects and changes your heart. Well, don't tell me. I'm very busy. I have a lot of children. We can't talk. But tell the person you're working through this book with what that does to your heart and see how implementing that into your prayerful rhythm changes the game completely.